Hey, you're watching this video because you are making content and you want content to serve as part of a client acquisition system that brings warm leads to you who are pre-sold and ready to pay you high ticket prices for your freelance coaching or agency services. And that's great news because welcome to the most important video that you're ever going to watch about creating content that actually turns to sales. I've created content for 18 months and it's allowed me to make 30K in the last 40 days with my online consulting business, but I also help my clients install the exact same content system, but it all comes down to one fundamental concept. So let's get into that now. Okay, so welcome to the golden rule of content creation. And I made this mistake for the first 6 months so you don't have to. I've now been posting for 18 months and my God, I wish I knew this at the start. Because when I first started posting, my editing was amazing. I asked my friends for fancy cameras and used them. I spent hours finely tuning my B-roll. I'd post using optimized hashtags and I'd wait and post at the exact right time. And I was just getting a few thousand views and I was like, why am I putting all this effort into videos and getting absolutely no return? And then I realized that you cannot polish a turd. And once I've realized this, a bit of shiny object, but once I've realized this, I now can regularly get 10, 20, 30K views on a video. And I've also hit multiple 100, 200, 300K videos as well. And it's all because I realized you can't save a bad video idea by filming and scripting well. You can't do all these things and save what is fundamentally a turd underneath the surface. And my views just didn't go up until I changed my approach. I would listen to top creators speak and they would say they spend months, like Mr. Beast, Alex Hormozi, they spend weeks and months on their video ideas before actually filming them. And then the rest is a very small part of the process, but it is the video idea, the actual concept of the video, which is the thing that is going to dictate whether you get views or not. So in this video, I'm going to show you the difference between a good and a bad video idea and the execution of it. I'm going to show you literally starting from basic ideation, 2 videos. I'm going to show you taking one idea and taking it through my video ideation structure. And I'm going to show you a bad idea and show you exactly how I produce that and then compare the results at the end of the video. And when I'm recording this, I have no idea how these 2 videos are going to perform. So it really is live testing whether this video ideation structure is actually good or not, which I'm confident it is, but we'll see at the end of the video. So stick around to see how that works. But also by the end of the video, you will know how to get lots of views because I will show the ideation structure for that. And you'll also know, importantly, how to target your specific customer because we want to turn views into good quality customers. And if you go for viral formats that don't bring in your ICP, your ideal customer profile, then you will not turn views into sales. So that is important. That is the ideology that I carry throughout this whole video. So to start with the core idea, you've probably come up with video ideas, and I just want to start with the core idea of how to get more views. We're literally just going to talk about how you can get more views. That is the core of the video idea that I'm going to test. But we can either take our bad idea and go and just run with how to get more views, sit down and make a script, and I'll show you that in a second. But I'm going to run the how to get more views through the killer video idea formula. A great video has 2 elements. It either educates people or entertains people. That is, if you think of any video that you like, it either keeps you because you're entertained or it provides you some sort of value or information. If your video does neither of these, then people won't watch it. However, we want to hit the sweet spot of these, which is we want you to become an edutainer. We want you to be educating people, but in an interesting way. And that is what Alex Hormozi, Gary Vee, Ali Abdaal are all doing right now, is they provide information and value to you, but they provide it in an interesting way. So that is the principles of this structure. Starting with the first part, education. Education, I see, is information that someone does not currently already have. Valuable education is information that someone does not already have that solves a problem that they have. Very importantly, it solves a problem because there is loads of education out there, but valuable education to you is information that solves your problem. And how do we provide valuable education? We solve people's problems, but we also do it by using our past experiences. And let me explain exactly why you need to use your authority and your past experiences to add to solving people's problems to finish off this education process. And that is because, would you listen to someone on marathon training who had never run before? Would you listen to someone talk about grief who has never had a relative ever die? No, right? So Alex Hormozi says, do shit and talk about doing shit. And I love that. It's very simple. It's, if we're going to educate people, we need to educate people on things that we know what we're talking about with. And if we don't know what we're talking about, then we don't have the right to educate people on it. Very simple as that. I have this advanced ideation worksheet that I can show you, which will show you exactly how to ring out that process properly. So drop me a message on Instagram if you would like that ideation worksheet. But very simply, problem, authority, your core video idea. You have a problem that someone has, that your ICP has, your ideal customer profile, and you have the authority to solve it because of your past experiences. That is the first step. ICP problem, create authority. And then we're going to go into what is my video ideation structure. So what problem are we solving? We are solving the problem that people can't get enough views that attract your ICP. Okay, so that's the video idea. That's the first part of this. And then the second part is, what authority do I have on the subject? What authority do I have on this subject? Okay, so I've made 30K in 40 days from my Instagram. That's one authority that I have on the subject. And I've also got clients 10 times in their views. And I like all of these. They all give me authority in the space. But for me, this is the most interesting one because I have managed to use this formula, to get my clients 10 times more views. So that is my authority on the piece. So that is the first part. We have filled out the education part. We combine those together to create then the second part, which is the entertain part. So how can I make this video interesting? This is going through the framework as to how to make what is the bad video, which is just saying how do we get more views, to making this a great video idea. And that is saying, okay, we need to make this entertaining. Everything we are talking about has been presented 1,000 times on the internet, but we can present it in a unique way and an interesting way that gets people to engage. And there are actually two ways to create stimulating, entertaining ideas in your head. And the first is using inspiration from other content. Use a 5-minute scroll on your page and note down the formats that you enjoy. So you go onto Instagram and you're like, okay, I like this idea. This is cool. Note it down. And then what you do is you apply those formats to your video. And say you're watching a video by another creator where they were moving around the screen loads. Then you can use that. And it's the format that you're using and you're just applying that to this video idea. So for example, for my video talking about how to get more views, I could deliver the same script, but what I can actually do is have a video where I was moving around loads, maybe moving around a balcony loads or moving around my room loads. It just makes it a little bit more interesting than just sitting there and delivering it straight to the camera. But the second way you can come up with stimulating ideas is just to think creatively. And I know that sounds really frustrating to say, but creativity is just a muscle. Like going to the gym, you have to practice it and grow it. And your muscle performs best in certain conditions. I found walking, exercising, and cleaning as great ways to actually use that creative muscle. One of my favorite things to do is to go on long walks and to actually ideate on the walks. So I think I've got this idea, I've got the problem that I'm solving. How am I going to deliver this? And in 10 minutes in a walk, I'm going to come up with this idea. And then I just don't take my phone, and it's really nice because your brain just feeds you ideas if you give it the space to do that. So that's one of the top tips that I'd recommend for that. But basically what you're doing is you're passing your education, you're passing the ICP and the authority that you have. For me, it's how to come up with great video ideas and then the authority I have. And then you're passing it through this entertainment filter. So how can I get inspiration from other people? And also, how can I think creatively? How can I convey this idea interestingly, very simply? So that is exactly what we're going to do. And then for my video, I was thinking about this and I was like, okay, so I could get the ideas and I like the ideas of moving around, but I also went on a walk and thought, okay, how can I actually convey this interestingly? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to present it with a load of information. I'm going to present my authority on a board which shows that I know what I'm talking about. This increases my authority, but it also increases the visual stimulation for people. But that first part is good, but it doesn't actually hook people in to start with. I have this theory called the spaghetti theory of content creation, which is actually what the video is going to be about. I could either deliver the video by just saying how to get more views, but I could also deliver it in an interesting way. Could I give it a theory? Could I give an idea around it? And what I've done in the past is come up with this idea that is called the spaghetti theory of content creation. It's the exact same principle as how to get more views, but it's actually delved into a theory which is about spaghetti and throwing it at walls. And then I was like, well, why don't I use that as the start of the video? Like, I could actually use spaghetti in the video itself. And thank God for the Dubai delivery services, because waiting at my door was a pack of spaghetti, because I realized that I could bring this video alive by actually using spaghetti and showing at the start of the video what I mean by the spaghetti theory of content creation. I could just deliver a video saying, okay, you know, this is my theory, but what I could do is actually link it to something that people know and come up with this. And that has all come to me as an idea by just going on a walk and thinking, how can I make the concept of getting video views come alive? And that is exactly where we are now. So use the theory to entertain. And now even just thinking on the spot, I'm like, okay, what I could do is I could use spaghetti to throw at a wall. Because what that will do is that will basically engage people at the start of the video and then show them exactly what I mean by spaghetti and the theory of spaghetti. So then the process comes, how do I link this fun part to delivering the value? And then I think, okay, so I've got the fact that my clients get 10 times more views when they work with me. I've got my spaghetti. How do I combine them together? And then again, it just comes up with thinking about videos that I've seen in the past and also creatively thinking. And what I could do is I could have me throwing spaghetti at the wall, which is part of a theory, throwing spaghetti at the wall and testing things out. And then what I could do is I could show that each time I throw something at a wall, something happens. And then when it sticks, what happens? And that is basically bringing the theory to life. And I can have my client results coming up to show my authority, but also throwing the spaghetti at the wall to bring it alive. And we've gone from a video, which I will show you making in a second, which is going to be just saying, this is how you get more video views, and basically talking about that to bring it alive with some creativity. And let's get on to making those 2 videos now. Okay, so I've literally just filmed the video now. I want to show the mess that it has caused chucking the spaghetti around, but I hope it will turn out to be a good video. And so now I'm gonna go and edit those videos, put them together, and let's see how they perform. The number one reason why your account is stuck at less than 200 views is simply because you are not...
What does chucking spaghetti at the wall have to do with your Instagram account getting more views? Well, the thing is that every time you post, it's like throwing a new...
Okay, so I posted the 2 videos and I was actually surprised by the results. As I said, this would be a completely live test. But what happened is both videos got the same amount of views. But what happened is the engagement rate was 3 times higher on the video that I put a load of effort into ideating versus the one that I just filmed and shot. So that was fascinating to me, and that to me proves exactly the point that I was getting to. Even though it didn't prove it in terms of views, it showed that if you make the same video and make the idea better, then what happens is people engage with it more. And at the end of the day, engagement is what matters on Instagram, because you can get a video with a load of views, but if it doesn't have engagement from your followers and from non-followers, then no one is resonating with your video as a person. So I accidentally, without meaning to, proved my own theory with a different kind of result. I'm gonna make more in-depth videos about my process of creating content like this, and see you next time.